A lot of people are struggling with gold, so I want to analyze where is this scarcity is coming from. This post says here that you don't get enough gold from abyssal, so you only get 100 gold per clear. And considering that you have to use potions and bombs and stuff, often it barely covers the cost. So abyssals do not reward enough gold. We have another post here that says that tier 1 and tier 2 do not reward enough gold, and there is a bot problem. So there was a bot problem. So first, when there were a lot of bots, the bots increased material price. Now at that point there were scarcity of materials, so all the whales were buying materials and you could make gold by selling those materials. So it didn't seem like a problem because you were making so much gold. So for example, Great Honor Leapstones were like 600 gold, Honor Leapstones were like 150, you had Guardian Stones at 50 and 60 per bundle. So you were making a lot of gold by selling your tradable materials, and the honing cost, it didn't seem that much at that point. But what happened was that when all bots were banned, the gold price increased by a lot if you wanted to buy it with real money. So people stopped buying and overpaying for materials. So when bots were prevalent and the gold price was cheap, people were overpaying for the materials. So when bots were removed, people stopped overpaying, and that's when people realized that there is a problem with gold, because people were making a lot of gold from selling their tier 3 materials, so it didn't seem like a problem, like honing for example. But when a lot of bots were removed and the gold price increased for real money transactions, that's when people saw that there's not really enough gold to sustain all their needs. So now we have a gold problem, gold deficit from this. Now this person also goes on to say that, for example, the rewards are not enough. So for example, Guardian rewards are too low. So what you don't get gold from Guardian. Yeah, you don't get reward from Guardian. You only get like materials. And what happens is as well that people in Guardian raids, it almost feels like if you use like flares and potions, it almost feels like you're losing gold. It's just because you only get like a few stones and maybe a few leap stones, and the price right now is so low that you do not make any gold from that. So that's the problem you have, that people, the symptom of this is that you see people who do not want to use a flare. Nobody in the group who wants to use a flare, and then you have people who do not want to use potions because it almost feels like you're losing gold by doing this Guardian raid if you use a lot of potions. So that's the symptom of rewards are being a bit too low in my opinion. We have another post here, and if you look at what gold sources there are in the game, so yes, you have abyssal dungeons and raids, then you have one-time quests and rewards, and bonus tasks weekly, yes, and the rest is just playing the market and selling crystals. So they do not add the gold to the economy. So there's very few sources, very few pure sources of gold in the game. there's too many. There's another problem. There's too many places where you need to use gold. So for example, honing, you need to use a lot of gold. So if you look at this honing calculator, how much honing costs, this is just for weapons. So if you want to get your weapon from 1340 to 1370 with an average scenario of fails, you will need 9,000 gold just for honing costs. And this is just for weapon. And this is just from 1340 to 1370. If you include all the previous honing, and if you want to hone after that, the price is just crazy how much gold you need. And not only honing, you also need gold for stronghold. So everything from stronghold, most of the crafting like potions cost gold, research costs gold, like special materials like Oreha fusion and stuff like that cost gold. So for stronghold you need also a lot of gold. And not to mention, you also need gold if you want to gear your character, so like engravings and stuff. So there's a lot of gold sinks in the game. And if you look how many sources there are, it's not enough. So another thing is, what happened was, when bots were removed, Amazon removed gold sources from the game. So for example, Payton gold sources were removed. Rewards is this to combat bots, and have another post here that shows what report NPCs were removed. So a total of 5,300 gold were removed from report rewards. Now this might seem like not a big deal, like most people, well, I guess people do the reports, but it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's still that this source of gold was removed from the game. So report gold removed. So if you look at the sources here, so this is another. So a lot of quests gold were removed and report gold were removed in a lot of cases. So you only have these two sources for generating pure gold. Okay, you have a little bit more than that. So you have also like Adventure Island, you can get sometimes the Adventure Island rewards gold, but it's very rare. Also you have like gold portal from Chaos that gives you like maybe 200 gold or something, but it's also like RNG and it's very rare, so it doesn't add a lot to the economy. Now we have another problem, is market tax. So this person made a post here that shows how much tax you pay for selling. So for example, if you sell low for 2 gold, you pay 50% tax. Now if you sell like a 2 gold and you see that the more you sell for, the less tax you pay, right? So the less you sell for, the more tax you pay. And what also happens is that the prices for everything are dropping because the supply is increasing. The supply is increasing, but there's not enough gold in the economy to pay for all the stuff. So the prices is dropping for everything. And on lower prices, you also pay more tax on top of that, so you make more less gold. So it takes more gold out of the economy. So the prices are dropping, and on top of that, you're also removing, so you also pay more tax, which removes even more gold from the economy, just deletes it. So supply is increasing, but people cannot afford to buy stuff. So it even further drops the price. It drops the price, and when you drop the price, you also pay more tax on top of that, which is crazy. Now, you might say, okay, you can't have alts and you can make more gold. But this is not true, because if you want to make gold, you need to get to tier 3, because tier 2 and tier 1 is the rewards are incredibly low. So if you want to make gold, you need your alts in tier 3. But then, okay, you get your alts to tier 3 and they say, okay, now we can start making gold. But this is not true, because if you want, let's say you get per business like 600 or 500 or 300 gold. If you do the abyssal, that's not considering the potions or and then the other costs. Now, if you need to gear your alts, so if you want to do the abyssals, you need to have like a semblance of the build. So you need to pay gold for accessories, and also you need to hone, which costs a lot of gold. So right now, like, I have 3 alts in tier 3 and I'm not making any gold. I'm losing gold, or I'm barely breaking even. So the only source of gold, my main source of gold, is lucky accessory drops. But because there's not enough gold right now in the economy, people cannot afford good accessories. So the price for accessories is dropping and dropping and dropping. So it is getting harder and harder to make gold, and the supply of accessories is increasing by a lot. So only the best accessories start selling, and the chance of getting like really good accessory is also lower. So you're not really making gold. And if you say, okay, when you get to Argos, like, you get like more gold reward, and from higher abyssals you get even more gold, yes, but it's not enough to cover the cost of getting to 1370. So you need to spend like more than 30,000 gold and millions of silver to get your character to 1370. Okay, because I was like one of the earlier people to get more alts to that point, yes, I was making gold from like lucky accessory drops. So accessories were selling like 5,000, 10,000, 8,000, and that's the only reason I got my alts to this level. But right now, if you want to get your alts to these higher levels, the honing cost and the cost of upgrading your character is way too much. So for example, if you want to go Argos with your alt, you need to have good engravings, good stats. So you need golden accessories. So think about this, golden accessory is 15 peons. So 5 golden accessories is 75 peons. And if you add ability stone on top of that, which is I think 5 peons, that's 80. And you'll probably fail a few ability stones. So it will be like 100 peons to get your alt to accessories and ability stone. And 100 peons, if you convert it with crystals, it's like 4,000 or even more than 4,000 gold. So there's that as well. So if you want to get your alts right now to tier 3, to Argos, and to hard abyssals in order to make gold, you will pay so much that you're not gonna make that gold back anytime soon. The only way you can make some gold is if you get like really good accessory. But this is also not generating gold in the economy, it's just removing the gold. So alts do not generate gold unless you get lucky. Getting to the point where you get more gold, like Argos, you need to spend so much gold on honing, so my conclusion for all of this is that there is too many gold sinks and not enough gold sources in the game right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.